Hey everybody, hope we're doing well. Welcome back to a very special episode of CSGO News where we expose two big gambling websites out there for doing some sketchy things and also scamming the community as well as their own people. Now what I mean by that, I'm going to be talking about two large websites, CSGOBoss.gg as well as SkinUp.gg, both pretty big websites with very big followings, and I'll also be talking about CSGORoll later. CSGORoll is associated not for scamming, they've actually been scammed by other gambling websites out there. Some big stories for all of you, time markers will be down below. Our SkinUp.g and CSGORoll stories will be bigger than this first one, but I still want to expose CSGOBoss.gg, where apparently their owners were actually scamming their own owners, their own people, out of equity in the company. So first our contact here is Quagger. I want to show his Twitter really quick. He's actually contacted me about this. He was one of those guys who actually had equity in CSGOBoss.gg, 20% equity to be exact, and he ran all of their social media marketing, drove the website up, got a great Twitter following. I'll show their Twitter on screen for all of you right now so you know the website, know where not to go, and you can see a pretty big following there. Actually worked them up to anywhere from 200 to 500 players and users on the website every single night. That's above average for a CSGO gambling website, enough for the website to make around $1,000 per day, allegedly by Quagger's odds. So yeah, 6 figures a year, over $300,000 in gross revenue a year if this website were to remain around that long. Hopefully not going to after this video is released. So CSGOBoss.gg, allegedly their owner, ironically enough, his name is actually Jake, and he actually revoked equity from our actual contact. Now apparently he did all the social media marketing for several weeks and was promised payment by Jake, the owner, and eventually he removed his admin panel. When you're working for these websites, you're given the admin panel. You can do just about anything on the website, have a lot of admin responsibilities, pretty much a moderator of the website. Eventually that was revoked, and eventually Jake stopped responding to our contact Quagger through Skype, gave him the old Drakemoon strategy where you delay your responses. You say, hey, don't worry, I'll get back to you eventually. The responses got slower and slower, and eventually Jake from CSGOBoss.gg, the owner over there, just stopped responding altogether and never paid our contact Quagger and cheated him out of thousands of dollars. Now again, we've seen this strategy so many times where you're enticed, you're led on by the amount of money. When you're working for these websites, you do what they want because they promise you big amounts of payments, absurd amount of payments like this. You offer them $500. Hey, next week I'll have your payment of $500. The week after that, I'll pay you $1,000. And you do the work because you're so enticed by an absurd amount of money. Of course you're gonna do the work. Once you've done the work for them, they simply do not pay you, and they really don't have to because there's the legal allegations to actually build up to that take so much work for you. It's almost not worth the effort whatsoever. So CSGOBoss.gg, there's conflicts there with the ownership. He's actually begun cheating out his own people as well as his partners, not only his own owners, his actual counterparts, as well as several people who use the website. Now we've had Richard Lewis talk about Drakemoon the other day, and I told everyone that several websites do this. There are withdrawal scams with every single website, CSGOBoss.gg being one of them. I'll show you several screenshots on screen right now of countless people having the same problem where they deposit $5, they win $150, and they simply can't withdraw. They open tickets to the website, and the website gives them bogus excuses saying, hey, by the way, our systems went down, our blah, blah, blah went down, we can't actually repay you right now, we'll get back to you eventually. The same thing with Drakemoon, they never get back to you, and these people eventually give up, they lose all hope, and it's no longer worth actually trying to get their skins back. Now, apart from this, they've also, on top of scamming their own owners, scamming their fans and viewers and players and their users, now they also have scammed their own partners who promoted the websites. We actually have Quadmft. I'll show him on screen right now. Thank you for contacting me with this evidence. He actually sponsored the website himself and was cheated out of almost $1,000 in referrals. After being paid for the sponsorship, he was then cheated out. They withdrew all of his referrals. They negated all those. He could not withdraw them. And yeah, for promoting the website, they actually are trying to cheat out everything. Once you've done your work for this website and many websites out there, they'll simply revoke your payment, never pay you. A lot of the times we've seen this with good friends of mine that are also gamblers. They just never get paid. So please do not use CSGOBoss.gg, and this is happening all over the map with CSGO gambling. But now I'm going to talk to all of you about a bigger scam by a guy who goes by the name of BigDog. Now, who BigDog is? He is the owner of SkinUp.gg, an even bigger website than CSGOBoss.gg, a very well-known guy out there because yes, he does indeed scam. Now, first off, I want to talk to all of you about the way he scams people for SkinUp.gg and warn you all not to use this website because this guy is one of the greediest guys I've ever heard about from multiple anonymous sources. The things he has done absurd, is very gross and cruel what he does. It's also very business mindseted and very greedy. So I want to talk to all of you. First of all, my main source for this was LindseyCSGO. She works for Denial Esports and also has worked with other partnerships as well and is very well known in the esports scene, is also a web designer for some gambling websites out there. Now I'll show you her Twitter on screen. Thank you to her. She's actually not anonymous for this. She was my main source for actually trying to call out BigDog. We're going to refer to him as BigDog. If you ever refer to yourself as BigDog, you already know there's a problem with how cocky this guy must sound. He's actually the owner of SkinUp.gg, and what he does is he goes around a forum post and he actually posts his need for website designs. He did this to Lindsey. She's a web designer, responded to the post. Shortly afterwards, got a job to create a web design for one of his websites. She put in over 100 hours of work on the website, got paid the upfront fee. Of course, he's going to pay you first off to start. She then puts over 100 hours of work into the web design, gives him the files to approve of. Once he's approved of them, he steals them, downloads them multiple times through MediaFire, and never pays her back half payment of $600, which she was cheated out of. And eventually she was given several excuses from the actual website SkinUp. They were like, oh, by the way, yeah, it's BigDog. He doesn't work for the website anymore. Yeah, we actually fired him back in 2016, the end of the year. Well, Lindsey did some investigating, and in fact, BigDog was actually still working for the company, and the work she did for him was actually in February and January of this year, 2017. So straight up, they lied to her, and then she also was still, when she could still access the website, SkinUp.gg, she saw BigDog in the chat talking to all the big gamblers, talking to the users, and then later when she called them out via Twitter and actually tried to negotiate and say, hey, by the way, you stole me payment, they told her to take down her tweet, which she obliged, hoping they would actually give her the money, and eventually they blocked her access from both their Twitter and the website itself. They IP blocked her, whatever it may be, and she can no longer access the website. So as you maybe see, I know I rambled off a lot of information for all of you guys. Feel free to replay that. They cheat out these designers by, again, just like Boss.gg, they get you to do all this work by enticing you with the money. They entice you with their ownership skills. Now on top of all this, but besides just saying, hey, we're going to pay you these absurd amount of money, we're big owners, of course we're going to pay you through, besides abusing that power, he also, BigDog, has lied in the past about being the owner of not only SkinUp.gg, but he's also been telling these designers to convince them to do work for him that he is also the owner of Drakemoon, which he is definitely not. We've confirmed this by 2 anonymous sources. This guy known as BigDog is not the owner of this big website he alleges to be. He simply says this to abuse the power and convince designers to do the work for him, and then he'll leave them hanging and only give them half the pay. Now, obviously, by doing this, he is saving himself tons of money while ripping off several people in the community. So please be very wary of SkinUp.gg, and why you guys really want to be wary about them is because they're also scamming other gambling websites out there. And now I'll talk about this, the $63,000 SkinUp.gg scam of CSGORoll. So first off, before we hop into that, thank you to LindseyCSGO. I do feel bad for you, but thank you so much for the information on that first story. And now let's talk about the big scam, a gambling site scamming another gambling site. And even further, the same guy, BigDog, who we refer to, the guy with the very cocky name, he's actually done even more than this. I told you early on, according to Lindsey, this guy allegedly also tried to pretend to be a Drakemoon owner. He's also tried to make parody sites, meaning sites with the same first name. I know a lot of you guys saw allegedly Drake Double was one of his creations. Also Drakemine and Drake Sweep were allegedly some of his actual wannabe creations. So I don't know, I'm not sure who's going to be buying up those URLs now, or if he owns them, trying to make parody sites of well-established brands he does not own. Now on top of this, I do have 2 anonymous sources that want to remain behind the scenes, don't want to get involved for drama reasons. 2 high-up sources in the gambling scene who can actually confirm this BigDog guy to be doing much worse than that. And he was actually a part of a SkinUp scam of CSGORoll. If you guys not hear about this, SkinUp.gg, a very, very popular source out there in the gambling scene, along with CSGORoll. These are some of your top gambling sites out there. Allegedly, SkinUp.gg actually scammed CSGORoll out of $63,000. Now, going into further explanation for all this, I do want to apologize because my sources do wish to remain anonymous, because in this kind of business where so much money is going around, it's never really a good thing to call out your competitors because you never know what's going to happen in the background. So for some reasons, these 2 guys actually, 2 guys or girls, I'm not really sure which one, they've actually chosen to remain anonymous, guys, but the evidence is out there as of right now. I can tell you all how this scam actually works. So CSGORoll, not necessarily expanding, but having a lot of popularity to their website, they needed more Steam trading bots for their website to, hold the skins and trade the skins, whatever it may be, bring them in, deposit, withdraw, all of that stuff that a Steam trading bot does. Now, those bots cost a lot of money, according to some sources, around $3,000 per bot. So CSGORoll contacted SkinUp.gg. They said, hey, do you have any spare bots? And they agreed to sell them for $3,000 a piece. Now, what SkinUp.gg did was very, very, again, business-oriented, very business-mindseted, but also very greedy and very wrong. And now, again, it's kind of weird to see a legal system and illegal things behind this, because as of right now, our legal systems have not really caught up to what gambling is. So not really sure this is actually illegal to do, but what SkinUp.gg did was, because they own those bots, they waited until CSGORoll had actually bought them and loaded them all up with skins. To be exact for all of you, $3,000 per bot plus over $50,000 in skins split amongst those two bots. And then what SkinUp.gg did was they simply changed the passwords and then bought all the skins or got all the skins themselves and kept the bots under their own ownership. Now again, CSGORoll was really too late to be there, because once you actually authenticate or try to activate your mobile authenticator, there was really nothing to do because they had no overall access to the bots. And so SkinUp.gg simply took their bots back and all the skins with them. Now what I was trying to say earlier is we've actually had this ESPN article released on CSGO kid gambling, all that kind of stuff, and what really was brought up to this is the legal system here in the US and all over the world is really not cut up to legal grounds about gambling or currency, that is virtual currency gambling. So although this may be illegal, you're not going to have CSGORoll trying to contact anybody, because as of right now, maybe what they're doing, you know, gambling to little kids and minors, is also illegal. So if they go and take this to the courts might say, hey, you're actually, you know, doing something illegal as well, and it might backfire even further. So as of right now, that's my only guess and speculation as to why CSGORoll would not try and call SkinUp.gg out for this. But yeah, allegedly, guys, we now have not only gambling sites scamming many kids out there, many people out there of their money, we also have gambling sites going even further than that and scamming other gambling sites. So I know this is not my actual usual video I put on this channel, but I wanted to make you all aware of the greediness in this world of business that is CSGO gambling out there. There are so many things happening out there that I want to make you guys aware of, but I just can't, because I don't want all of this channel to be focused on CSGO gambling scams. So I hope you all enjoy this rare video of me trying to expose, you know, SkinUp and also CSGORoll for whatever was going on over there. Mainly SkinUp.gg was the focus of this video and how greedy people can be, the $63,000 scam, and as well as other websites out there. You know, we could try and find so many websites out there like Boss that we talked about in the first story, but they're just too many to count. So I hope you guys all enjoy this episode of CSGO News. I'm not going to be touching on gambling too much in the future anymore unless you guys want videos like this. Please leave a like or comment down below what you guys think. As always, live, love, laugh, a lot. My name is Jake, and I like you. I'll see y'all next time. Remember,